Are you tired of dying to people who have 7,000 hours in this game? People who refuse to touch grass and just get a life? I'm going to show you in this video how to beat players who can do stuff like this. I want to show you how to beat them consistently in a 1v1 box fight. Let's get right into it. In this first clip, I want to showcase how to take advantage of the lack of a middle wall in a 2x2 and show how ineffective a 2x2 is when you don't have the middle wall. And for those of you who don't know, a 2x2 is basically a bigger box, a bigger 1x1, and it gives you more space to take better angles and escape easier when playing defensive. Alright, so there's a couple things you'll notice about this clip. The first thing is that I'm trying to actively either bait him to come and run at me by spraying at his wall from a completely safe angle by crouching underneath that floor, or have the ability to take his wall. So what ends up happening, he doesn't do anything. I damage the wall enough to where it's 1 HP. I know if I shoot it one more time that the wall is going to break, and I break it. One thing that you'll notice is that if I kept running forward, I wouldn't have been able to see if there was a middle wall or not. So I actually turned left on the slightest bit. And it was able to give me enough room to see that there's a middle wall. And while this clip does require a bit of mechanical skill, it is definitely just something to take a look at, especially on the defensive end. So as soon as I take that wall and I notice that there is no middle wall, I open the wall, I place a cone in a wall instantly. He's still trying to figure out whether or not to have his gun out. Then he realizes he needs to have his wallet, which is why I'm able to grab that wall. Now granted, I'm also zero paying, so that also really helps. But just in general, even me on zero ping, I lose that wall. So from there, I go ahead and make my peanut butter edit, and I do make it a little bit too early. I actually am still exposed a little bit on the wall, but you see I start to strafe left. So I'm strafing left here, and what that allows me to do is get behind the wall. I should have been behind it all the way, but I was still fairly protected. I hit him for, I think it was 40. And I just see that this wall is edited, and I just simply crouch underneath. And that's also just good movement there to crouch right before he takes shot. I just catch him completely off guard. So this is a recap of that first clip. The biggest takeaway from that is not necessarily what I did on the offensive, but how he let himself get killed on the defensive by not having that middle wall. That middle wall will get you killed, especially against a more mechanical player. So if you're someone who struggles with editing and building, just the one small tip will change everything and stop a more mechanical player from easily killing you. Alright, so I'm going to be breaking this one down a little bit differently. I want to know which ones you guys find better. Alright, so in this clip, I'm going to be kind of going through a whole clip. So let's start this from the very beginning. It's the very beginning of the box, right? So first thing I do is I take not the greatest right hand peek, but I do take some sort of right hand peek. It's not the greatest one. You see me crouch, normal type of thing, normal typical thing from a right hand peek. So I see this player run up these stairs. Now I see him strafing to my right. So that instantly makes me think he's going to go this way, and he's going to run into this area. So that's what I do as I look to see if he goes that way. Now he places a wall there, which is predictable, but I have this wall already. So one of the biggest things that he did in this situation, in fighting a more mechanical player, I am a more mechanical player than this person, is he just ran blindly into a box and didn't take into account this wall here. Like, there's just certain things that as a less mechanical, just as a player, that you need to be aware of. And this is one of them. Like, not even less mechanical. This is just one of them. He does a good job, and he places a stair. He instantly places that stair. Now, the next thing that you notice is that he does not have this back wall. Now, I took a little bit of a risk here, but he does not have a back wall, and I see that. I can see over this. I should have been more to the left here, but I can see here that there's no back wall. So, and he's going for a shot. So what I do is I go for the back wall, and I get it, because my builds are out way before his. He's just now pointed builds up, like just now. So I go in and I try to place my stairs. You can see my blueprints down here, and it's highlighted with my stairs. So that's what I try to do, is I try and place my stair. And the reason I place my stair instead of a cone in this situation is because I saw right here that he is far enough back that I can place a stair. He's backing up. So if I place a stair, it'll block any shot that he has, because I just know. I've been playing the game. I've played the game way too much. I just know that any stair is going to block the shot that he's going to take. I keep forgetting to switch my cursor. So I don't get it. And you can see I run and instantly try and edit the stair because I knew I was going to catch him off. That's why you see me make this motion. I just instantly do it, even though I don't get it. So I actually switch to my wall, and I get this back wall here. Now, if you're fighting somebody more mechanical than you, making sure you have the most amount of piece control, especially if you aren't very mechanical at all, making sure that you have all the piece control that you can is extremely important. Making sure that you're aware of what piece control you have is extremely important. So now he has one of two options, because he can't back up, or three options, I guess. He can't back up because I have this back wall. So he can either go this way, down, or take a 50-50. Now, he's probably a little bit flustered because I've taken this wall, this back wall is building. So he's a little bit flustered now. So he's going to drop, which is probably the smartest play you can make. He messes up his editing a little bit. And I reset that wall. The reason I reset this wall here is because if he takes an angle, he's going to have a decent angle on me. I know that this floor is his. This is just my awareness. I also hear this cone place. And unfortunately, there is no audio in this clip. But you can see him placing the cone. You can hear it. It's just an awareness thing. He's backing up. He's placing this. Now, one thing that is super, super important to notice here is that there is no wall here. Right here in this situation, he should have a wall built. And be taking that peanut butter edit. That peanut butter edit in this situation is going to give him a perfect peek on me and still keep piece control. Now I'm allowing himself to get counter piece controlled because he has piece control on me, but he's not preventing counter piece control. So there's two areas to this. While this is an offensive move, you need to be defensive minded within your offensive move, especially if you're less mechanical. So I make a really good play and I jump him and I back up. I then pull out my gun. I strafe underneath my peanut butter edit and crouch. He takes a shot. Now I go for a shot. He resets it, which is not a bad play. Now, I know I'm a better player than this player. I've played him a couple rounds. I have 3 kills. I know I'm a better player than him. I know I'm more mechanical than him. So I still see that he hasn't built that wall. He goes again for the same edit. Now, this edit, it literally does nothing for him. I mean, like, he's not going to get any damage there. There's not even an angle to be taken. So this is a really, really bad edit. He should have backed up instantly and placed that wall. That, again, that's like that middle wall from the first clip. It's that barrier between me and him. So I drop, and as soon as I have my wall up, I mean, he has no chance. He goes for a shot there, which is really, really bad. Now, granted, if he hits it, he's golden. I mean, I'm probably forced to back off. That's if he does enough damage to force me to back off. Even if he doesn't, I can still take a really, really good peek, like a peanut butter or a window edit, and be fine. Now, he shot already, so that means he can't shoot again. So me editing like this wide is fine because he can't do anything. Again, I take advantage of more piece control. The clip gets a little bit ruined here, but I take advantage of more piece control by placing this cone. I instantly take advantage of it. Now, remember, this is how to prevent it. If this player realized how to properly counter piece control, he has a wall here and even a cone here already. And this side wall built off. So let's play the rest of this. I instantly place that sidewall because I know he's going to try and escape. Instantly. I missed my shot. Yeah, I hit the wall, but he's pretty much full boxed. I even have that back wall on him. He is full boxed. I take a peanut butter at it, strafing all the way to the left. He really can't hit me. He's just going to make a play at running at me. Oops. He's just going to make the play at running at me. I hit my shot, reset it instantly so he can't make a play on me. I choke here a little bit. But again, so he gets out, which is good. He has nowhere else to go. Listen, this wall Do not just run blindly. You have to piece control this wall. This is like that middle wall. Because this wall, if you had placed a wall, not this one here, but a wall right where he's at now, in front of him, would have stopped this whole thing. Granted, he's in a really bad spot, but he could have placed that wall and went right back into his old builds and been completely fine. But he runs. He just runs because he panics. So he just gets piece controlled. I got a really easy kill. Alright, so let's break this down again. This is the start of the fight. I'm taking a pretty bad angle here. This is a bad angle on my part. Now, you can see visually on the footsteps that he is running here. So, just in case you're wondering what's going on through my head, is I'm placing a cone here because it's pretty hard to place a stair in this angle and just editing it. I'm confident he's on that wall. So, again, this is like the middle wall in a 2x2. I have a video on a 2x2 out, so make sure to watch that if you're still a little bit confused on that. This is like that middle wall. This wall to the left here, not this wall, but the wall to the left is like that middle wall. It's the barrier between me and him. I know he's running there. I see that there's no wall. I messed it up real quick. I see him there. His first thought is damage, not how can I maximize the best angle. So you can see him with his gun out. He's just running. There's no builds. Right here, as soon as he sees this, he should be backing up. He should running forward. It's kind of hard with the momentum, but he needs to get out of the box. He needs to place a backward stair and just get out or drop. He needs to get out of this situation. You do not, in any way, shape, or form, when someone has a wall on you like this, want to just stand there and take it. Because they're just going to take a fantastic angle on you, or a good angle on you, a right-hand peek, where you maybe get 30 at the most, and it hits you for 120. Or max damage. So, I messed up my edit a little bit. But again, I instantly see this back wall. Now, although he doesn't go for it, that's just still more piece control I have. I mean, if he had gone for that running backwards, which a lot of players would in this circumstance, because they see there's no wall there, they're like, oh, like I don't get to edit, I don't have to edit the wall. Especially less mechanical players, they would run back into that. But he doesn't. He makes a better play, but he should have had that piece controlled already. So he gets out of the box, and I go for a cone. And I reset the wall to take a better angle. Now this angle here, he can't shoot me on. You see me strafe to the left, make this angle. He can't shoot me on this. I'm just pressuring him. I get the wall, 1 HP, just like the first clip. And he's on this wall already. And I see him on the wall. I take a really bad angle. I place a stair to try and block him. He has no piece control in this box. I see that there's no left wall. I go to place that. He makes a good play by dropping. But again, no piece control around him right now. He's just making plays. I drop. I notice there's no piece control around him. I noticed that from here. Now, like, I'm not joking. That is not just me, like, predicting the clip in the future. I see here there is no wall. A good mechanical player is going to see that there's no wall there. They're going to know. They're just going to know. Even if it doesn't make sense, they're going to know. So I break this and I instantly build. I now have all this piece on him. Especially in this angle, it is really hard for him to get out of the box because his only choice is to back up and or flip the stair. And if you're not that mechanical, then you're not really going to be able to flip the stair. Because once you flip the stair, you can go out or you can back up, but you're bound to take damage. You're almost guaranteed to take damage. I took a good angle, I messed up my shot. See, he backs up. He took him long enough for me to mess up my window edit twice or once and to make the edit and then pull out my gun and strafe to the right for him to be able to get out of that box in time and be protected. So he does 0 damage to me. Now, there is only one place he's going to go from here. And I know that. There's only one place. Now, granted, I have lots of time in these games, but he's going to go this way. And that's because there's no builds here. There's nothing. So I see him, let's see, I see him strafe. Start to piece control it. He's looking gun out, not even worried about healing, just gun out. I start to piece control it, and here he comes. Straight into my box. Not even building, not worried about healing. He could go up. That's not his piece control, but he could go up. Has nothing because this entire fight I've been dominating it. So this entire side of the map up here is my stuff. The only thing he owns is this way. And I've piece controlled him out of that and forced him into this situation. So he owns nothing by not piece controlling. And I instantly hit him. So let's just watch this back one more time. really quickly. Place that cone. Good, I'm taking a little bit of a right-hand peek, not the greatest one. I messed up my edits quite a bit here. Place that back wall. Take a good angle here. So you see I was about to make a bad angle. I was about to take a bad angle. And I reset it when I went for the wall to take a much better one. I jump up, take it. Notice he's on this wall. Able to block him off in time. It just has to do with my good mechanics, though. And I just piece control. Now, I'm not expecting everyone to have mechanics like this, but what I am expecting, though, is for you to learn from this is how to avoid being put in situations like this. So as a quick recap, again, the biggest thing is to make sure that you're counter piece controlling yourself and playing defensive even on the offensive. So you can make offensive moves when you are less mechanical, but you need to make those offensive moves in a manner that doesn't cause yourself to get killed again. When I fight players better than me, more mechanical than me, quite often I find myself in positions where I go on to make a move and they capitalize on my lack of awareness when making that move. Whenever I fight some players that are still playing the game very often and are placing decently competitively, they often capitalize on my lack of counter piece control. So it is something I experience, but it's something that as you play the game more and experience more, you'll understand when to counter piece control and how to. But just knowing that, especially that wall there at all times in all 3 clips, has gotten this player killed. All right, so this is a clip of me getting 2v1. My teammate died in a box fight, and I want to show you how I recovered from getting counter piece controlled. So I'm being 2v1 and being chased right now. No, I make the same mistake that that player made, except slightly different. So I wound up making this edit. I do try and build the wall. I just did it too late. So I did attempt to, but I did it too late and he gets to counter piece control me. Now he's still dropping. I pull my gun out and I strafe and jump to the left. I could have easily been piece controlled there. But one thing to notice here really quickly, I know I don't have this wall. And I'll show you right here. You see how the wall is red? The moment you see a wall that's red on the outlines there, that means that you don't have a wall. Like all this red here, that you don't have that wall. So if you're ever like in a situation where it's like a 50-50 and you see that red, you don't have that wall. You need to pay attention to that. So I strafe to the left and I do a pretty bad job. Now I look down. This is really vital here. I jump to the left and I look down. The reason I'm jumping here is 2 reasons. First of all, he's running at me, so it makes the shot a little bit easier. But it also gives me a higher chance of fading through any wall that he places here. So as soon as I jump out and I notice that I'm over this layer, so you see this line, or it's like a box game. So you have your 1x1s, which can be built. And within that 1x1, you can place walls. So I know, just from playing the game a lot, I know that this line right here, as soon as I cross that, I need to stare and look into the ground and place a wall. So I get that wall, and I'm able to build off. Now, his teammate comes, and I mean, the rest of this is just not that important. But as soon as I get there, I place that wall, turn around, instantly counter piece control, place the stair. There's a stair behind me. Now, in case you didn't know, if you hold your stair button out and look down towards the ground, a stair will place behind you. You see the stair behind me. That's my stair there. So that's another form of counter piece controlling. So I'm getting out of this situation. Now his teammate comes to fight me, and I notice that he piece controls me. Now let's see what he did wrong here. He did piece control me. He absolutely did. This should have been the freest kill. He went for more piece control with the cone. I didn't counter piece control that. I messed up. Now, I can capitalize on him beating me here, though. Let's see how. He runs straight at me. My gun is out. I missed my shot. We both do a pretty bad job. He backs up. He makes a good play, backs up, prevents the 50-50. But when he runs at me, he creates a 50-50. This fight should have been done and over with. He should have had this wall, made a window edit, full boxed me, made another edit, and I'm dead. So he runs at me. We get out. Pretty bad at both our parts, aim-wise. Again, I make sure to place this wall behind me because this middle wall here, pretty much determines whether or not I die. That wall right there. So I place that wall, and I get out. I want to get out of him pressuring me. I jump up here because just know he's running towards me. It's a 2v1, so they're going to be pressuring me as hard as possible. And plus he edited that wall. I can see him edit a wall right here. So, and place the stairs. So those are all indicators that I'm going to be run at. These two things right here. So I see that. And I jump up and I counter piece control. I bait him into a shot. And I get drops. And there's a 50-50. I have my gun out first. Which is bad time. I don't know, max damage him. I hit a decent shot. And then I just hit another decent shot on him. But what is important here is that he gives me a right hand peek. He very much gives me a right hand peek. I'm able to, I run up to this wall. I see, so something important here to notice is that I see that there's a stay here. So I actually run straight into it to create that angle. That nice right hand peek where he probably can only see a little bit of my head. He can probably see about like my arm. Probably about this point on, I have his entire body to aim at. And all I have to do is line a shot up beforehand and shoot him. So let's just recap this one more time. So I make a bad play here. I don't counter piece control myself before making it. He makes a bad play and 50-50s me. I go ahead and hit the one pump. And I'm able to just get out of that box and strafe. Now, if your mechanics aren't that great, you know, there's certain things like maybe like this play, you know, a little bit harder for you. But like running towards this wall here and recognizing this stuff, this is stuff you can do without the greatest mechanics. This is stuff that can win you fights, is recognizing how to take right hand peeks properly. Alright guys, I really appreciate you watching that whole thing. If you did, or maybe you just skipped to the end. Let me know which type of content you prefer more. Was it like the first clip or the last three, which is much more in depth? I think it's much more beneficial to watch the more in-depth stuff, but I understand, you know, it's a lot longer. So what I might do is might have two videos that are kind of discussing the same thing. One of a much more general thing that's a lot quicker, more edited, sped up, and one that's much more raw. That's a lot longer, but you'll gain a lot more out of that information. Yeah, please let me know anything in the comments that you guys want to learn. I will literally sit down and make a 2.5-minute video on the most basic thing, because there's just a lot in this game, and there's a lot that the smallest things people don't talk about. Even if it's like how to side jump or just something so simple, at least to me, that maybe you're struggling with a little bit. Let me know. I will make a video catered just for you. I promise you. So leave a comment below. And if you guys did enjoy this video, did help, if you guys want to, leave a like, subscribe. It really helps me. But yeah, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day, night, sleep well, whatever it is. And yeah, peace out.